Goldman, and I have something quite unusual to share with you today. You see, some time ago I asked my blog community to vote on the topic that they'd be most interested in learning more about. Well, quantum jumping and Qigong topped the list at numbers 1 and 2. But the topic that you voted as number 3, well, that surprised me. Because I've released material on quantum jumping and Qigong, but I've never released material on this subject, although I've got years of experience in the field, and that was past life regression, the practice of clearing away negative experiences and emotions that are carried over from a past life and that are holding you back. Now stay with me here, because I know this idea can seem a bit, over the top or out there. And if it wasn't for my years of experience studying under, some of the greatest spiritual masters like Paramahansa Yogananda and Jose Silva, I'd probably be as skeptical as some of you. But I can assure you that past life regression, it's real. And if you can understand how to tap into this resource, you can dramatically improve every aspect of your current reality. Past life regression is the only source for clearing or healing traumatic experiences in prior lifetimes that are holding you back in this life. And it can also be used for tapping into your creative genius and connecting to your true self. I'm actually working on a past life regression program right now that it will be released shortly. But before I tell you about that, I wanted to share some important information with you on the topic so that we're all on the same page. Now watch this video till the end, because there are 2 very interesting concepts that I want your feedback on. The first idea that one must come to accept when trying to understand past life regression is reincarnation. Now, you can call it whatever you want: rebirth, metempsychosis, transmigration, re-embodiment, evolving consciousness. They all represent the same idea, that upon death, your soul or consciousness doesn't truly die, but lives on and carries with it some of your past life memories, but buried deep in your subconscious, or superconscious, if you will. Now, some of you skeptics might ask, what reason do we have to believe that reincarnation is even possible? Given the fact that reincarnation stems from Eastern philosophies and religions, American belief in reincarnations is surprisingly high. According to a 2001 Gallup poll, 1 in 4, or 25% of Americans, believe in reincarnation. And polls in the past have included all kinds of well-known people, including Benjamin Franklin and Henry Ford. Modern scientific research on claims of life after death dates back to 1882, and past life regression used to induce channeled memories or messages of reincarnation is the main target of that research. Perhaps one of the most influential research cases was that of Edgar Cayce, a photographer who had discovered his psychic healing abilities accidentally. Hoping to cure a bad case of laryngitis, Cayce was hypnotized, and while in a hypnotic trance, he jumped into a past life where he was a healer. He diagnosed his illness and prescribed a cure that worked. Cayce went on to correctly diagnose and offer health advice to over 2,500 people in the 20s and 30s, which gave him the title of America's Sleeping Prophet. In 1960, the publication of Dr. Ivan Stevenson's report in the Journal of the American Society for Psychical Research offered information on 44 interesting cases of past life recall. One of these cases was the story of Jagdish Chandra, the 3.5-year-old born in 1923 in India, who began speaking of a previous life and family in great detail. He described names, possessions, dietary customs, and the exact location of his previous home in another state in India. His memories were detailed, specific, and the written records of the boy's claims were investigated and, for the most part, proven true. Another was the interesting case of Corliss Shotkin in Alaska, where physical scars and birthmarks found in specific locations on the body of the previous personality appeared in the same location on the body of the new personality. And perhaps a more recent discussion on reincarnation was in Neil Donald Walsh's book, Conversations with God, where Neil asked, "Is there such a thing as reincarnation?" To which God replied, "You have had 647 past lives. Since you insist on being exact, this is your 648th. You were everything in them. A king, a queen, a serf." Sounds a lot like quantum jumping, doesn't it? But more on that in a few days. For now, if you're interested in learning more about reincarnation, there are tons of cases, many stories that you can find by just searching online. Now, they definitely offer some food for thought. Now, the next idea I'd like to bring your attention to is the scientific fact that all time is happening right now. Now, this concept is rooted in quantum physics and Albert Einstein's theory of relativity. In fact, Albert Einstein has been quoted saying, quote, "People like us who believe in physics know that the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion," unquote. Now, you might be wondering, doesn't this idea contradict the idea of past lives? No, the answer is no. You see, the idea that time flows, or that time has the structure of a fixed past, an immediate present, and an open future, that's been built into our language, our thought, and our behavior. We say past lives because that's what makes the most logical sense to us. However, in actuality, your past lives are all coinciding with your current one right now. The equations of physics, they don't tell us which events are occurring right now. The present moment doesn't exist in them, and therefore neither does the flow of time. All moments are equally real. In a similar way, mystics and sages have said that in the spiritual world, all time is occurring right now. For example, in Conversations with God, and I'm paraphrasing here, the character of God says that when you die, you're not limited to choosing a new life in the future. In fact, you can choose a life at any point in the existence of humankind. You can choose to come back as an ancient Egyptian, an American soldier during the Civil War, or a Mongolian shepherd. You choose. Now again, you quantum jumpers may see a pattern here. Just as there are an infinite number of universes coexisting with this one, there are an infinite number of time dimensions happening right now. You'll learn the implications of this soon. So, why are these concepts of reincarnation and time so powerful? Because when you understand them, you can learn how to tap into your past lives to influence your current reality in an infinite number of ways. In a few days, I will be releasing a special report explaining how you can do this, as well as reveal some very interesting case studies of people who have changed their lives through past life regression. But before I leave you today, I'd love to hear of your experiences with past lives. Have you ever wondered why you love the smell of cigar smoke, or why you can't stand when people slurp their soup or whatever? Have you ever recognized a place when you are absolutely certain that you've never visited that place before? Or met someone for the first time, yet you feel like you've known them for a lifetime? Have you ever wondered where that birthmark or inexplicable scar came from? Or why a talent or ability came so naturally the first time you tried it? If so, you can't help but ask the question, how? How did you end up with those feelings, scars, or memories? Did you read them in a book? Were you conditioned as a child? Was it déjà vu? But then again, really, what exactly is déjà vu? Perhaps a memory of a past life? Tell me your story below. Thanks for watching. More coming